long time no see. Unless you're on TikTok, then I'm over there like all the time, or Instagram all the time. I have noticed some new uploads. Like, I don't know how many new uploads that I've decided to throw out into the world, but I decided to like full send in the month of June. We're doing a lot. And by we, I just mean me. I've posted, I think, 4 or 5 videos. I don't actually know because I haven't scheduled them yet, but I know how many I've recorded. We have at least 3 more coming throughout June and July. So I really want to do more booktube things, and I'm kind of trying to get over that hurdle. We're doing a wrap-up. This is May's wrap-up. To be fair, monthly wrap-ups stress me out, but because I get anxious doing wrap-ups, we have this, plus, because I've only read like 4 books and we're only talking about 3, this video would be so little. I'm going to show you my very ambitious June TBR, and we're going to talk about some reads that I want to do in June. First off, this is a very aesthetic looking pile. I don't know if you can see the tabs or not with my headphones on top, because like I was an audiobook girly this month towards the latter half, so June is going to be full of like audiobook recommendations, and we're going to be talking about audiobooks. I was also accepted into the Macmillan Influencer Program, so I'm going to have an entire video dedicated to those books that I don't know when I'm going to post, probably at the end of June, because that'll be 2 months of me doing this. In May, I read a total of 4 books, which was 1,171 pages, and I listened to about 16.1 hours of audiobooks. These numbers are kind of skewed, they're kind of off. 75% of what I read this month was in print, and 25% of what I read was audio. Again, this is kind of like skewed because I do tandem reads sometimes. I'll switch between an audiobook and a physical book, but most of the time it's like whatever I'm doing, that's the format that I'm gonna pick to adjust. So we're going to talk about the books that I read them in the order that I read them, with very little to no spoilers, and then my thoughts, feelings, and opinions on them, and like, would I read more from this author, would I not read more from this author. As you can see, I only have 3 books here, but I read 4 of them. I'm only going to be talking about 3 of them because I found out a little too late that one of them was from a St. Martin's imprint. And if you don't know that there's currently a marketing boycott going on with SMP, I'm going to link Readers for Accountability's page down below, and I'll put their Instagram right here. Their motto is solidarity amongst readers and accountability for publishers. If you don't know why this boycott is going on, there's a ton of videos that if you just type in like St. Martin's Press or SMP, the first thing that will come up is boycott/controversy. Click on those, scroll, just read article after article, listen to video after video, because there are creators who have put it in more elegant words than I can. So here are all of my resources that I use. So there you go. The first book that I read this month, which was a buddy read, and I'm so bad at buddy reads. However, I did update the story graph, like read along with my thoughts and everything as I was reading it, and that was Dragon Fruit by Makia Lucier. I love this book. I love it. I rated it 4 stars. It was so fun. It was so like nice to read, and I did get it the day it came out because my bookstore happened to have it. I wish more bookstores would focus on BIPOC stories to tell, because this one I think is perfect for fantasy lovers, perfect for the summer, a beautiful YA standalone. And like, trust me, I've been searching for the YA standalones. They're like non-existent anymore. Everything is a part of a series, which kind of breaks my heart. In Dragon Fruit, you're following Hana of Tamarin. She has been exiled from her homeland of Tamarin for 10 years due to actions of her father, and she's just nervous about going home because she doesn't know how she's going to be received. She's worried about what her father's actions have done to their family and to their name, and so she's just avoided it until one day she's forcibly brought back to Tamarin, and it is a giant homecoming between her and her childhood best friend Sam, who is like one of our love interests / second point of view that we get in this book. Once she's home, she is talking to the queen of Tamarin, because it's a monarch, and Sam, his uncle, all of the officials, on what she's been doing for the past 10 years as a child alone in this like archipelago region of this like collection of islands. She's been searching for sea dragons and dragon fruit eggs because it's said that they can grant a wish, and she really wants to find one to bring home. They set out on a adventure to use all of Hana's knowledge to find a sea dragon, to find a dragon's egg, to bring it back home, and it is just like a beautiful story. I did listen to this one as an audiobook for like the middle chunk of it. Love Makia's writing. Like, this is just, it's just wonderful to read and fall in love with. I did write that, like, on the front page, like, hold on, can you see that? I don't know. I wrote on the front page because I was tabbing as I was going, and like, I love this book so much. Oh, it was so good. But I wrote, as magical Samoan tattoos, pirates, sea dragons, gods, islanders, monarchs, childhood friends to lovers, homecomings, and grand sea adventures, with plot twist after plot twist, and like, you're connecting the dots along the way. I will say the reason that this book is 4 stars and not 5 stars is that I feel like the like big bad that they're going after and like how that whole storyline ends was very anticlimactic. Like, it was built up so high, like the end result a little anticlimactic, or maybe I was just reading it too fast. I don't know. Everything else about this book hit for me. It was so beautiful because like after that there's still like I think 10 chapters left in the book, and you're just going along and you're reading and following up with these characters after this giant adventure. I will say that I cannot wait to see what Makia does with like other books and other stories, and I kind of really want them to write a new adult fantasy romance, like romantasy, but it's the underlying plot. Like, I want, because she weaves together plots and stories, like, it's so good, but the tension and the banter between Hana and Sam, it's just, it's like, it's too cute. And so like, what could you do out of the confines of like young adult but still like new adult? Like, I'm not talking about spicy smut. I just want more flirting and banter because it was written so well. And then I read my very first Emily Henry book, Funny Story. I listened to most of this as an audiobook, surprisingly. Like, I read it towards that like that latter half. I did read a lot of it because I was annotating it, but I listened to the first bit because I was so like iffy on Emily Henry, if I would love her, if I would hate her, what the writing style was going to be like. So I did check it out from the library first, and then I just kind of fell in love with the story, and I like blinked and I was already like, I don't know, 150 pages in. So physical copy has been grabbed. I will be spraying these edges, and this is one of my new all-time favorite romance books to recommend and talk to people about. And like, maybe it has something to do with like a mix of things, but like, I ordered a special edition of this bad boy, which was pretty cheap. Can we talk about that for a minute? Segue, pause. UK and like international copies of books, they are so inexpensive. The expensive part is the shipping, and most of the time Blackwell's, you can get it for like free shipping to the US. I think I paid like $25 for a special edition of this book, and that sounds insane, but considering it's coming from Germany and it will be here in less than a month, I thought that was pretty nice considering most fairy loots in America are going for like $500, and I could not wrap my head around that. Back to the book. In Funny Story, you are following Daphne, who has had her entire life planned out. She has this great guy. They're moving to this small town in Michigan where he lives, and he wants to like start a life there. And she is a children's librarian in this small town, and she feels like her life is kind of like falling into place until literally the night of his bachelor party. He comes home and he's like, yeah, you know, my best friend that I told you didn't have to worry about, she confessed her love for me and I confessed my love for her, so now we're gonna go get together. The wedding's off, love you, you have a week to move out of my house, bye. And her life implodes, and that's where she meets Miles, our love interest, who was that childhood friend's boyfriend. Now Daphne and Miles kind of need a roommate situation because they're the only two people who understand this like grief that they're going to, and two are put in this very odd, unpredictable spot until Daphne can find somewhere else to go, and she's counting down to leave at the like end of the summer. So that's really all there is to this book. It's just Daphne and Miles exploring this small town and trying to like find themselves, and they end up starting a little bit of a friendship that turns into a romance. I know a lot of people say that they don't feel like this couple meant to be together, or like mates, it was more like the convenient, easier option. And honestly, that did not bother me at all, because of all of their dates and all of the things that they shared and things that they've experienced. It did move kind of fast, but like, it's a romance book. What do you want from me? It leans more on the contemporary side of romance. It's not super smutty, but it is very cute and heartwarming. I did start crying around, I don't know, like 250, and I didn't stop until the end. If you have daddy issues, if you have parental issues, if you and your parents are on the rocks, do not read this book. Don't do it. It hurts. It hurts a lot. Like, I love this book. I gave it 5 stars. My mom read it. My mom loved it. I have a special edition of it on its way. It's gonna go on like my beloved shelf of like all-time favorite reads. I cannot stop thinking about and recommending this book enough. Last but certainly not least, I read Good Game by Madison Fox towards the end of the month, and this book did what it needed to do. I was barreling towards a reading slump, and this book took me out of it. I have a reading vlog, which I think was posted before this, where I read this book and I talk about it, because it's so good. It's so good. I read this entire thing I read this book in a week. Like, a solid week. That seems like a long time for most people, but I'm a slow reader. And like, most of these books took me a week to read, but this one, fly by, zooming. I could not put it down. It was so funny. It was steamy. It was just like everything I needed. And book 2 released the day I finished this book. Good Game is a masked gamer artist romance. You're following Stevie, who is a like thriving, successful artist living in, I believe it's New York. Is it New York? And she's living in this small apartment that her grandma or her yaya left to her, and she's just living out her dreams of being a successful painter. She is a rich girl. She already had money to fall back on, but she's just like loving what she does, and she does odd jobs in between there. Like, she serves at cocktail parties and events, and that's where she meets Alex, aka Blade, who is like one of the top streamers of this little world. And they are at an award ceremony, and she is like set to serve their table, and instantly they have like a little bump in meet cute, and they are obsessed with each other. It is insta-lust. If you don't like that, don't read this book. But I loved that. It was funny, it was fast-paced, and like everything about it was perfect. There's not a lot of plot going on in here. Like, there is a plot with her ex, and there's a plot with the guys and this very jealous gamer who they keep bumping into. Aside from that, you're literally watching Stevie and Alex and their relationship, and you get a cute core friend group, you get banter, you get like multiple different locations and dates, and I'm so excited to read the rest of the books in this series. If you watch, I think it's by Madison Fox now. It used to be Paperback Princess, or Princess of Paperback, I think, but by Madison Fox is her new name. I've been watching her content for so long. She's actually what inspired me to start like book talk content to go to booktube. I love this book. She's just like so funny and hilarious, and I know she's not posting a lot of videos right now, but God, I need her to post more videos and talk about this book. I need people to read this book and love it the way that I read it and love it. I gave this bad boy 4 stars. It was so good. It did what it needed to do and got me out of my reading slump and like happy and excited about reading romance books again. And the second book is called Forbidden Game, I think. And then the last one is called Fake Game. That one is Jackson's story, and I need Jackson's story like right here, right now. Okay, those are all the books that I read in the month of May. We're going to switch gears really quick, and I'm going to like speed run all of the books / video ideas that I have for June. There's one bookish event in June and one bookish event in July, and I'm super excited about both of them. So me reading is going to be like gearing up towards those bookish events. There are so many amazing books coming out in June by indie authors that I don't even know where to start. I have a list written down in my journal, but we are definitely going to be reading The Bargain with Fate. This is an arc that I was sent. It comes out June 14th. It also has all these really cool art prints and stickers, and it's signed and it's personalized. Such a cool arc. But this one comes out June 14th, I believe. I have like a week to read it. Super excited to like jump into this one. Has Norse mythology. It's like less than 400 pages. It's a little bit of a romantasy. And The Threads That Bind Us, this is by Ray Douglas. This is her debut novel. She is a book talker that wrote a super dark, seamy romance. I'm so excited. I did get approved for the e-arc, and I'm just waiting patiently for that to like drop in my inbox. The one bookish event that I have going on in June is a Lauren Asher book signing. Now, I'm hoping that I can get tickets this week because I kind of want to love Lauren Asher the way that other people love Lauren Asher. So we have an entire vlog dedicated to Lauren coming this week. Well, not this week, but like at the end of June, because these books are kind of chunky. First is Dreamland Billionaires. I only have the first two in indie print because I bought them before they got picked up by, who was it, Bloom? Yep. I bought them before they got picked up by Bloom, so I have these, and I don't have the third one that matches. That kind of bothers me. But every time I read the first book, I just like get disinterested. So someone told me to read the second book because I would probably love it more. So maybe that's what I should do. I should read book 2 and then book 1. I want to love Lauren Asher the way that other people love Lauren Asher. So I think if I just like romanticize reading all of her series, make a little fun vlog out of it, go meet her and talk to her, I'll fall in love with these books because I know that it's just me. I always start books when I'm in the middle of a slump, then I hate them. May 31st when I'm recording this, and June 1st or 2nd when you're seeing this. But I'm currently listening to Butcher and Blackbird. This book is so fucking hilarious. And then I also have Leather and Lark, which is book 2. This one doesn't come out until like June 6th or something. But I'm going to finish this one probably today or tomorrow, and then I'm going to finish this one. And I'm going to be able to talk about it with everybody because I'm always behind. I Love the Sun Queen, and then Thirsty. Those are all in videos currently. Those are all of the books that I read in May, and then that is my very rapid fire June TBR and June plans. Stick around. I have other videos that are up. Are they good? Who knows? My socials are at the end if you want to find me somewhere else on the internet, and until next time, happy reading.